The Supreme Court on Thursday announced rulings in two key cases involving President Trump's financial records. One meant that the president would have to turn over his financial records to prosecutors in New York. The other meant that Congress would not immediately be allowed to see the president's financial records. The two rulings amount to something of a split decision for the president, in which his financial records will be part of an investigation, but Congress won't be able to see them, and we also may not be able to see them before the 2020 election.
We're under audit, despite what people said, and we're working that out, as I'm always under audit, it seems.
The case involving turning the president's financial records over to New York prosecutors involved the president's claim to have, quote, absolute immunity over prosecutions by state officials.
Counsel, it seems that you're asking for a broadness of immunity that Justice Thomas pointed out is nowhere in the Constitution. I'm not sure why he's entitled to more immunity for private acts than he should be for public acts.
Well, he's the President of the United States. He is a branch of the federal government. We're asking for temporary presidential immunity.
You've said that a number of times and made the point, which we have made, that presidents can't be treated just like an ordinary citizen. But it's also true, and indeed a fundamental precept of our constitutional order, that a president isn't above the law.
The Supreme Court unanimously disputed this and said the president was not immune from such investigations, even though only 7 of the justices ultimately ruled that the president had to turn these records over.
He still thinks he's immune to investigation.
The president still stands beside the posture that he made. He accepts any Supreme Court opinion as the law of the land, but nevertheless doesn't change his viewpoint. He can disagree with the opinion, but he certainly will follow it.
Trump has claimed extremely broad powers as president, and his legal team has often argued in these court cases that those powers are extremely far-reaching. The ruling from the Supreme Court serves notice that there are limits to presidential powers.
At some point prior to the election, I'm going to be giving out a financial report of me, and it'll be extremely complete.
Having the records turned over to Congress was the most likely venue for us actually being able to see what was in those financial records. The fact that this is now being turned over to the New York prosecutor means that it will likely be bogged down in litigation over the next several months, and that we probably won't actually see anything that comes of those financial records until after the 2020 election.